Thank you, Tom Newton. Good evening. Welcome back to me at my welding bench in my shed, playing with chainsaws and axes. So this is like a video I didn't expect to be making. But thank you to Tom Newton, who noticed on the strip down of the 365 that the exhaust was cracked. So as you've just seen, yeah, I've been welding it up. So I do have a TIG welder. I'm a like hobby TIG welder, I guess you'd say. So yeah, I've just been welding up this. So luckily I've got some stainless rod. This exhaust can is stainless. I sort of think this might be one from an X-Torque actually, because it's got the later outlet there rather than the outlet in the front. So yeah, I guess it's that. So I think compressor, come on! The compressor has been knocked off, killed. So yeah, this is a can again. So people always talk about muffler mods, exhaust mods and stuff on chainsaws. And in my experience, it really depends on what the stock exhaust is like. So my 560 XP is a modern saw with lots of emissions, horribleness in it. And I've just got distracted a second because I found another prop. Hang on a sec. Oh no, I put it in front of me. So it depends on the saw. So this 372, 365 series of saws, the exhaust is literally just an open box. There is nothing inside this. It is just a square box with an outlet. As you'll see if you look back, the Dolmar, the Makita EA 7900, so EA is the emissions version, isn't it, has got this horrible contraption inside the box. So if you like, that's in this horrible box, and then it all comes out of this tiny little hole, and there's a short back on earlier on the channel about it. My 560 XP has got a whole horrible restrictive tube inside it, so that exhaust I cut open completely, took all of that out and made that an open can. So these open cans I don't think are very restrictive, but we all like a bit more noise, don't we? So what I do is I keep this, I think this is 3/4 inch tube. So what I'll do is I'll just open up a bit of a hole and I will make this fit in this corner, and then it'll be a bit of a nice exhaust, and it blows all the chips off, doesn't it, as well? So it's always a bit more fun. So there's been some interesting stuff in the chainsaw world with pipes, I think, lately. The Bucking Billy Ray's friend Morgan, who's a mega talented guy, I wish I could weld as him. I'm like, all the gear, no idea. I've got a really nice TIG welder here, but I can't fabricate for anything. He can fabricate really well. Morgan, you're an amazing fabricator. So he's made some amazing pipes and he's sent them over to Dino Joe. Dino Joe has tested them and they give about half a horsepower on a 372 XP, which is really cool. Like the Enterprise pipe I'm talking about and the other one. So I've been puzzling about how I could make those because I'm not a sheet metal guy. And a friend of mine was throwing away the other day this exhaust. I'm going to show it to you a bit more, I think. So a friend of mine was throwing this away the other day, and if you look, it's about 1 inch diameter and it's got these really tight radiuses for the cylinders, which made me think, I know the light's not very good, I'll bring you in a minute. Made me think, I think I can chop this up and then make like an Enterprise pipe out of that. So watch this space, because that's what we'll do. Also on to Dino Joe dynoed them. I don't know if you've been to see his video. Dino Joe videoed them, and someone said, yeah, but just opening up a stock muffler gives you a good gain. And he said, yeah, opening up a stock muffler or an extra pipe in a stock muffler will give you 5 to 8%. So 5 to 8% on a 6 horsepower saw is about 0.3 horsepower, is it 0.3-ish, give or take, 0.3, 0.4. So not quite as much as a proper pipe. And of course I ride little motocross bikes, 2-stroke motocross bikes with massive expansion tanks. So we've all seen those race saw pipes, which are just impractical for cutting wood properly, really. So I think there's a nice middle ground. That serpent pipe that Morgan has just made, I think probably is that middle ground. I'd love to see that dynoed. But anyway, for now, I am just gonna make a bigger hole in this, cut a section of this pipe off, stick it in, fit it, and then weld it. So stick around and you'll watch how I do that. I mean, it's just drill a hole and stick it in and weld it, really. But stick around and I'll show you a bit about the process and the finished article. Let's get going. So here we go, guys. Step 1, pilot hole drilled. So just a little like 6mm hole, just as the pilot hole. Now I'm going to open it up with my bigger drill bit. Okay, second stage, opened it up more. My biggest drill bit is this, which is like a 10mm drill bit. So that is the final bit of drilling. Okay, so a bit of extreme close-up here just before I do some welding. That's the hole all blown out, and that is the bit of pipe fitted. I'm not the world's best fabricator, so the hole is a little bit big. But that is about all fitted up. So I'm just going to tack this up now, tack weld it, and then maybe just carry on welding it. I might chip you in just for a bit, just so you can see a bit of welding. I can't really talk much while I'm welding. So there you go. I'll, yeah, see you in a minute. There we go, guys. Not the world's greatest bit of welding, but for a little bit of chainsaws, it'll be absolutely fine. See if we can get you into the light a bit and show you a bit. Not the world's greatest bit of welding. Probably do a bit of cleaning up on that. Honestly, my helmet was playing up and I had to change the batteries in it. But there we go. Not terrible. Not the finest bit in the world. That is rough. I'll show you as it is. That is straight off the gun, as it were. But look at that. So I'll give it a bit of a clean up and then do a wrap up. So there we go, guys. This is pretty much the fixed and finished exhaust. Just giving it a bit of a brush over with a wire brush. So there you go. You can see the extra pipe we put in. So it's now a twin outlet. You've got the top outlet and the new one on the side there. Welding's not perfect, but it will definitely seal it up. A little bit cold underneath. I did genuinely have a problem with my helmet. So you can see where the fit up is nice, like on this back, is I've welded up the crack all the way around okay. Yes, there's still a little bit of a crack there, sort of just propagating, but it's not going to get any worse, so I'm not over worried about that. I think I'm going to make a pipe for this saw fairly soon anyway, so that'll be alright. There she is. So I'll put it back on and then we'll have a little recap. she is finished and modded. I'm really pleased actually, so I can come over to you. Over there. I know the light's not very good. No, the light's not very good over where you are. Hang on. So there you go. There is the finished thing. Obviously I've got to put the brace back on, but I couldn't wait to start it up. The brace is actually on my 372 at the minute. But there you go. Really pleased. That is one of the better muffler mods I've done. I think you learn every time you do one. So there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed that little video on how you can modify the muffler exhaust. We're in Britain. The exhaust on a chainsaw. Yeah, this pretty much, I know I've milked this 365 for all it's worth. This pretty much is towards the end of the videos on the 365. Like I said in the last one, I think there's definitely a few 365 versus the world videos. We can do it versus all the 70cc saws. So I've got the Big Bore 372. I've got the X-Torque 372. Both of those have had similar transfer porting and base gasket delete stuff. I can also do it against my 260, you know, all the really hot Husqvarna sort of 60-ish cc saws that I love. So 262 XP, 357 XP, my 560 XP. That'll be a fun little comparison. We'll also do like a 65cc comparison as well. So I've got the 61 with the 66 cylinder on it and the pop-up piston. I've got a couple of normal 266s here. And of course I've got the John Stroh 2165, which is exactly the same saw, bone stock standard, and we can compare this to that saw, same bar, everything. So I'll definitely do that, and we'll have it versus the world a little bit as well. So it'll be great to do that cutting against a stock saw so we can see how much it's improved. But hopefully you've enjoyed this little mini series. This is one of my favourite saws anyway, so you'll see a lot more on the channel. But yeah, take it steady. Thanks for watching. Do a subscribe. Show me you love me if you do. If you don't, give me a comment. Tell me what I could be doing better. Yeah, we're all just a little thing here. So yeah, hope you're all good. Hope this helps you in some little way with some basic deals. I know I've got a TIG, but you know, a lot of people braze them up, or there's all sorts of ways you could do that joining, isn't there? Just one of my little ways to get a little bit better at TIG welding. So yeah, hope you enjoyed watching a bit of that. Me messing about with chainsaws in my little shed. Thank you for watching.